That statement by its own nature is wrong and it must be removed. Before we proceed, we must agree paragraph 3 must be expunged from that affidavit. Because even if he had not written that in that statement, in the affidavit, and someone was to ask a question that is uncomfortable with him, he will bring that to attention and he will make that ruling. Now, if we allow him to proceed with this paragraph 3, it means we allow him to tell us which questions to ask him and which questions not to ask him. We know how we work. We cannot be told in an affidavit, you are not going to ask me questions that happened before 1990. If we allow that to happen, we are setting a wrong precedence. He can't tell us that. He needs to remove that paragraph. We need that paragraph removed. He can't tell us which questions to answer him, which questions not to answer him. If there is a question that is security threat or incriminating or any other matter, you are well placed to deal with those matters. We cannot be told by a witness that you can do anything before 1990, I will not answer. You can even sit here the whole day, I won't answer anything before 1990. We are going to come out of this committee looking like clowns that were told by witness which questions to ask him, which questions not to ask him. He's going to be speaking about other people here. He's going to be speaking about other people here, and he doesn't want to be asked questions about himself. Well, he must be asked questions about himself because he's also going to talk about other people. And he already calls them criminals. So he needs to remove this paragraph 3. It's not about whether the question will come or not. This is just like a principal telling us that we must not go beyond 1990 on this textbook. It can't be corrected. It has got everything else to, it smells like supremacy. And we can't sit here with our clear conscience and allow it to proceed like that. We need to be advised from evidence leaders' point of view. I may not know the law. In a situation like this, what do we do? Where this paragraph in a signed affidavit is very problematic. It tells us from right at the beginning, you are not going to ask me anything about 1990. Even if you try, we can sit here the whole day. I want to answer that. And then we say, let's proceed. That is a very disrespectful statement, which must not be accepted by this honorable house. Thanks, Chair.
Advocate Aransa.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, in relation to no witness that has appeared before this honorable committee, including Honorable Matthys, had said, where's the reference to it in the statement? So we are not bound by the four corners. As evidence leaders, we consult with a witness, all the witnesses thus far. Some of them insist that they want certain things said in an affidavit or removed from an affidavit. We exchange drafts with them and we settle the affidavit not on the basis that this is a document that's been agreed. Otherwise, you don't need us. You can just place the affidavit before the honorable committee and the witness can read it and they can ask him questions. We place it before the committee to facilitate the leading of evidence, but in many instances, in some instances where I've been criticized, we go out of the affidavit because we tell the witnesses in consultation, including Mr. O'Sullivan, that we will put to you contrary versions of other witnesses or other information or other evidence that we have gathered, and we will ask you about that. And again, it's not for them to agree that that's the case or not. That is the nature of them giving evidence. The purpose of putting a written affidavit before the honorable committee is to facilitate the interaction with the witness. What is important is the oral evidence given before the committee. I'm glad Honorable Malema raised the issue of what is contained in paragraph 3, because I was going to ask Mr. O'Sullivan. If it's, one can understand, and hopefully we all understand, that issues of safety and security, especially regarding your family and your personal security, all of us would be concerned about that. But there seems to me no reason why we cannot ask Mr. O'Sullivan about his life, his career, his qualifications preceding 1990, especially in the context of a question I've already asked him, which is not in his affidavit, is there's an allegation that you are funded by foreign agents. Are you a foreign agent? That's what people are curious about. And because of his role in crime fighting, crime prevention for some 36 years, he's become a prominent figure in South Africa. And it's entirely relevant that people want to know, where do you actually come from? And what have you done before you came to South Africa?
Okay.
So, with your leave, I want to ask him that. And if he doesn't want to answer me, then I'm sure honorable members will ask him when their turn comes to ask him questions.
I want you to proceed with the leading of oral evidence, and we proceed by the decision that that paragraph does not belong here. We don't accept it.
Chair, Honorable Chair, just before you entertain other objections or questions from honorable members, we accept that. No witness can tell this honorable committee or the evidence leaders that certain questions are off limits. It is what he put in his affidavit, but we're not bound by it.
Okay. Can I see those who want to speak? Can you raise your hand? Chief Whip, Skosana, Honorable Skosana, Honorable James.
No, thanks, Chair. Good morning to you and good morning to colleagues. No, Chair, is in the past. And many of them have said things that we don't agree with. Some of which we objected, we engaged them on those issues. And some of those testimonies were written down in their affidavit. So I don't think, Chair, it's going to be appropriate for us to amend an affidavit of a witness. I think we shouldn't amend the affidavit. While I agree with the sentiment that no witness should be permitted to tell us what we can and cannot ask him or her, but I equally do not think that we'll be acting rationally if we want to take a decision as a committee that before we proceed now, we are amending the following paragraphs of your affidavit. So my own view, Chair, is that the ruling you made, and I think the additions that were made by the senior counsel are adequate to confirm that we're going to delve into this affidavit and beyond it as we see it fit, and the witness will be required to answer and respond to all questions. But I really would like to suggest that we should not make a call that there are certain paragraphs of his affidavit that we want to agree as a committee we don't recognize or that they don't exist. They exist, but we disagree with them, and we will engage him in the way in which we see it fit as a committee. That's what I want to propose, Chair, because I'm worried that if we take the line that says, let's expunge the paragraph. When we have expunged the paragraph, you are effectively saying that we must adjourn and allow him to relook at his affidavit so that he decide what is it that he's going to sign and bring back to us. So my views, I don't think we should take that route, Chair. I think it's sufficient to take a position that, as he has also himself agreed, he will answer all the questions. And in circumstances where we identify that he's refusing to answer certain questions, he can't say, I'm not doing so because you have agreed with my affidavit. We don't have to agree with anybody's affidavit here. All we are required to do is to receive a sign-off affidavit. We engage people on their affidavits and beyond. So that's what I wanted to say, Chair. Thanks.
Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think we have to know about Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, Robert O'Sullivan, biography. Who's this man who's sitting before us here? Who's this man who's sitting before? We don't know anything. This thing doesn't say anything here. There's no biography. We don't know him. He just said that he's got 3 passports, South Africa, Ireland, and UK. That's not enough, Chair. Who is he? The affidavit is before us here, but it's incomplete from the word